So another day, another just weird situation, with Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever and people around the organization. We obviously have seen the Scott Agnes article here, where he basically said that Caitlin Clark, that Caitlin Clark brings a dark side to the Fever, and her fans are like a negative on the team, and it's a struggle dealing with her fans. I'm like,
another day, another bizarre twist in the Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever saga. Scott Agnes article lit the match, suggesting Clark brings a dark side to the Fever, that her fans are more of a problem than a blessing.
Another good win by the Indiana Fever today versus the Seattle Storm, but I got a big concern with Caitlin Clark, man. So it looks like the Fever been figuring things out, man. So let's just say Clark comes back toward the end of the season, Fever do their thing in the playoff. Let's just say, for the sake of my argument, the Fever win the championship, man. With Caitlin Clark having missed pretty much most of the regular season, would this championship not hold that much weight? Because I can already see the haters saying she missed most of the regular.
Really? The woman sells out arenas, moves merchandise like Michael Jordan in the 90s, and suddenly she's the issue? Now, rumors are flying. Would the Fever actually consider trading Caitlin Clark? If so, they might as well print "We quit" on every ticket stub. She's not just a player, she's the heartbeat of the franchise. The main event. The reason Indiana basketball is back in the headlines. Think about it, before Clark, the Fever were background noise. Now, they're Beyonce.
he literally said, and he was like, there are some people that are not here for basketball, not here for the Fever, but are only here for Caitlin Clark. It's like, if you're a fan of a player and you're here for the basketball and you're there watching games and everything, you're a fan of a player playing basketball. I don't see there's an issue with that. And according to his thing, to him, he was talking about how it was such a struggle for the team, and obviously someone who has access to the team. And he mentioned the, the fans coming on saying,
every shot she takes goes viral, every game feels like a concert, and suddenly even grandma's rocking a number 22 jersey. And the front office is supposed to throw that away for what? A couple of draft picks and a warm-up towel? Please. Yes, Clark's a rookie. Yes, she talks trash and has swagger. That's not a problem, that's the point. Every great star in sports has been a little polarizing. Bird, Magic, Jordan, Kobe. Clark is cut from the same cloth. Some fans love her, some fans love to hate her. Either way, everyone is watching. And that's where this gets serious.
I was a little disappointed in Sophie's take is that, she's right. It's just that she did say, and I thought this was a better explanation, she was saying that when she played in Phoenix, that she was in the locker room. And so many of the players in the locker room were saying things like, oh, we're going to show Caitlin Clark what the W is really about. And would sort of go after her. And in some ways you can understand that because she was a rookie in the league. But ultimately, when you see all this vitriol of people who cannot stand her, it's like, okay, well, what has she done wrong? Yeah, she's a great basketball player.
If Indiana trades her, they're not just losing a player, they're losing relevance. Clark is the Mickey Mouse of women's basketball. People don't pack arenas for popcorn and halftime shows. They come to see number 22 launch threes from the logo. Without her, the Fever's packed house turns into an echo chamber. Meanwhile, whatever team lands her instantly becomes America's team. Doesn't matter if it's Minnesota, Seattle, or a town with more cows than stoplights. Put Clark in that jersey, and suddenly that franchise is selling out like a Super Bowl. So let's be crystal clear, the math does not add up. Trading Clark would be the worst front office move in WNBA history. You don't ship off the one player who turned your franchise from a punchline into prime time.
A badass and a trash talker and gives it as good as she gets it. And she is an object of scorn for good reason. She's awesome. She's swaggery. She does turn your home crowd into a road crowd. She is a frustrating player to guard all of it. And if she is, for some of these teams, a bit of a villain, that's sweet. It only will make her better. She is already one of the 3 or 4 best players in the sport, as a lot of us thought she would be in short order.
Now, about her injury, the Fever released an update saying further tests showed no new damage. Good news there. She'll continue rehab with no timetable for a return, though ESPN has floated August 12th as a possible comeback date. Bottom line? Whether she returns this year or next, Caitlin Clark is the Indiana Fever. If the front office can't see that, fans will, and they'll take their loyalty and ticket money straight to wherever she goes next. The internet lit up after Holly Rowe's broadcast comments, but the bigger story is what's happening around Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
Indiana Fever posted this about Caitlin Clark to give like the official what is going on with Caitlin's injury. So they said Caitlin Clark underwent further medical evaluations earlier this week, which confirmed that no additional injuries or damage was discovered. Clark will continue working with the medical team on her recovery and rehabilitation with the priority on her long-term health and well-being. There is no timetable available for her return. But I do think it's interesting that ESPN has listed August 12th as a possible return date for Caitlin Clark, but the internet noticed something specific that Holly Rowe had to say on the broadcast. Holly Rowe said that before the last return after a quad injury, she had no...
This isn't a normal fan base. It's a movement. Clark's fans don't just watch games, they travel, they flood social media, and they've turned WNBA League Pass into the surprise hit of the summer. To think these people will stay loyal to Indiana if Clark is shipped off? Not a chance. They'll follow her anywhere, like Swifties, only with better jump shots. There's a dangerous illusion floating around that the Fever will still be competitive and fans will still care if Clark is gone. Respectfully, good luck with that. Unless Indiana has a lab-grown superhuman who can score 30, run the point, sell out arenas, and keep ESPN buzzing all at once, you're not getting close to what Clark brings.
No, she didn't play most of the games to get them to the playoffs, all of that. She won a championship and she was hurt most of the season, and the team was out there winning games without her. I can already see people saying that, man. So I'm just curious, man, because I'm thinking like, damn, you know, Clark has missed a lot of this time. You know, you play the regular season and get to the playoffs. Clark has missed, you know, most of the season so far. So if she won a title this year, having been injured most of this season, and then her first championship would be her being hurt most of the time, how would that championship rank for y'all? Would it not hold that much weight? Would it just be, you know, a win is a win, whatever?
Trade her, and what you'll really get is tumbleweeds and regret. Let's talk money. A Clark trade wouldn't just be bad basketball. It would be financial malpractice. Letting her go would be like Apple firing Tim Cook and replacing him with a Roomba. She is the draw. The ticket sales, the merch sales, the national TV ratings, all of it starts and ends with number 22.
Be clear about this. If Caitlin Clark were not in the WNBA, we would not be talking about the WNBA. She is the only ticket draw in the WNBA. A large percentage of all tickets sold in the WNBA are so people can watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. No one cares about Angel Reese. She'd be drawing flies if she were playing not against Caitlin Clark on the court right now. Angel Reese has basically become the Bill Laimbeer to Caitlin Clark's Larry Bird, essentially.
And don't buy into the "maybe it's best for both sides" narrative. Best for who? The intern rewriting tweets at 2 a.m. trying to explain why the arena is half empty? The merch team suddenly pushing team effort t-shirts because Clark jerseys vanished with her? This isn't addition by subtraction, it's subtraction by delusion. Clark is more than a player. She's brand, identity, and cultural momentum rolled into one. Unless the Fever can clone her, and make the clone even sassier and more electric, there is no trade package worth the fallout. No picks, no players, no promises can replace the sun in your solar system. And here's the reality check: fans aren't showing up for the Fever logo.
Fair that she's the face of the league, and that's understandable, because there have been fantastic players in the WNBA for a long time. But Caitlin didn't disparage them. She just came in and kind of changed the game with her style. So I think it's one of those things where you have to say, okay, maybe I don't think it's fair based on the previous women who have been in this league, but it's not Caitlin's fault. All she's done is elevate the game for all of us. And I think instead of being pissed off about that, you should be appreciative of that and say, maybe it's not fair, but it's not your fault.
They're showing up for the Clark cinematic universe. That was proven last season. Iowa games pulled NBA Finals level attention, and when the college season ended, fans vanished until Clark showed up in Indiana. The minute she's sidelined, attendance dips and TV ratings slide. That's not a coincidence. So let's be clear, Caitlin Clark didn't diminish the WNBA stars who came before her, she elevated the game. She changed it. She made people care. The fair response isn't to resent that, it's to build on it. Because Clark's fan base isn't casual. They're ride or die. They'll burn the boats and storm the gates for her. She's must-see basketball, logo threes, swagger, trash talk, and ice-cold confidence. And fans aren't trading that for gritty defensive sets and a rookie missing layups. Trade Caitlin Clark, and the Fever don't just lose a player.
Fever Sky tickets dropped 71% on TickPick after Caitlin Clark injury. The get-in price for the Chicago Sky versus Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever game was $86. After Caitlin Clark's injury announcement is now down to $25. And you Angel Reese fangirls will still believe and think that Angel Reese is the reason why people are watching the WNBA. Since y'all want to make it about race, this white girl over here is the reason why fans are tuning in to watch the WNBA.
They lose relevance, momentum, and the loyalty of the only fan base in sports right now that treats every game like a holiday. Building a loyal fan base usually takes decades. Caitlin Clark showed up and did it overnight. She didn't just move the needle, she snapped it clean off the dial. One player, one movement, one walking highlight reel. Her audience isn't just the biggest in the WNBA. It's bigger than some franchise's entire existence. Look no further than the ticket market. Fever Sky tickets dropped 71% on TickPick the moment Clark's injury was announced. The get-in price went from $86 to $25 overnight. That's not a coincidence, that's proof. She is the reason people are buying, flying, and tuning in. Now imagine the comedy of trying to sell fans on the Fever without Clark.
Thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. Don't get it twisted. Don't get up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go have fun, enjoy, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing.
That's like kicking the headliner off a tour and expecting the crowd to stay for the backup yodeler. Clark isn't part of the story. She is the story. Take her out, and all you're left with is plot holes and empty seats. And don't think these fans are casuals. They know her stats by heart. They own the jerseys, the mixtapes, the posters. They rewatch games, debate in comment sections, and fly cross-country just to see her warm up. This is devotion, not casual admiration. And if Clark is cooking up triple-doubles in another city, those fans will follow. Meanwhile, the Fever will be stuck trying to hype a mosquito buzzing in Section 112. That's the real impact. The Fever aren't just holding a player. They're holding the key to an entire movement. Clark could walk into a last-place franchise tomorrow and turn it into must-watch TV. She'd flip the culture, double revenue, and make defenders look like unpaid interns.
People say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was #1. And most importantly, I think people look at this and think she said no. That's not the case. She said she wants her first competition to be an Indy at WNBA All-Star.
Fans wouldn't just follow. They'd crash ticket sites, upgrade cable packages, and pack arenas in cities they couldn't find on a map last week. The idea that Indiana can replace that with grit or team identity is pure delusion. Clark isn't a piece of the puzzle, she is the puzzle. She's the needle, not just moving it but controlling it. Last season, she and the Fever accounted for nearly half of the WNBA's entire broadcast value. Merch went up 500%. Her jersey was #1. She alone dragged corporate sponsors out of the woodwork. She's printing money faster than the Treasury. Another day, another bizarre twist in the Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever saga. Scott Agnes' article lit the match, suggesting Clark brings a dark side to the Fever, that her fans are more of a problem than a blessing. Really? The woman sells out arenas, moves merchandise like Michael Jordan in the 90s, and suddenly she's the issue? Now, rumors are flying. Would the Fever actually consider trading Caitlin Clark? If so, they might as well print "We quit" on every ticket stub. She's not just a player, she's the heartbeat of the franchise. The main event. The reason Indiana basketball is back in the headlines. Think about it, before Clark, the Fever were background noise. Now, they're Beyoncé. Every shot she takes goes viral, every game feels like a concert, and suddenly even grandma's rocking a #22 jersey. And the front office is supposed to throw that away for what? A couple of draft picks and a warm-up towel? Please. Yes, Clark's a rookie. Yes, she talks trash and has swagger. That's not a problem, that's the point. Every great star in sports has been a little polarizing. Bird, Magic, Jordan, Kobe. Clark is cut from the same cloth. Some fans love her, some fans love to hate her. Either way, everyone is watching. And that's where this gets serious. If Indiana trades her, they're not just losing a player.